Hello everyone, this is Yuvraj Dua. You're watching SportsTiger. With me, I have, of course, Monty Panesar to discuss the last week or so of this league stage of this Indian T20 league and also the playoff spots. The four teams have qualified. Monty, how's the last week been for you?
Yeah, thank you for having me. And it's been an interesting week. We've seen the likes of Punjab Kings. Did really well with Chris Gale at the back end, but finally got knocked out. And then Sunrisers, what a win that was against Mumbai Indians without losing a wicket yesterday. And KKR, they've kind of like obviously at the back end of the tournament, they've done pretty well, but obviously missed out on the playoffs. In the end, there was obviously, nail-biting stuff from Delhi Capitals. Ricky Ponting was thinking, are we going to just slip this away? But fortunately, everything, went their way. So in the end, I think apart from the top three were, I think, deserved winners. Possibly, I thought between KKR and Punjab Kings 11, but somehow Sunrisers Hyderabad have just pulled off a miracle.
Definitely, I think it's nothing short of a miracle. Kolkata knocked out now. Hyderabad in the playoff spot. Mumbai will be playing against Delhi. Bangalore will be playing against Hyderabad. And let's start straight away with our games. On 28th October, it was Mumbai versus Bangalore. Josh Philippi coming in for Aaron Finch and Devdutt Padikkal. Astonishing 74 of 45. Do you think Devdutt Padikkal will surely play for India in the future? Does he look like a bright prospect for you?
Absolutely. I think he has. I think he'll probably open the batting in Test cricket. I think that's where I really see him playing. They may even get him involved in the T20 things, but don't be surprised if he does a David Warner. What David Warner did for Australia, played T20 and then made Test debut and had a fantastic Test career. He really has the credentials to be a great Test cricketer.
Absolutely, I think. And then we came on to the Chennai versus Kolkata game. Let's have a small chat about how Chennai played in their last two games. I think they played with freedom. They had nothing to lose, and I think they effectively knocked out Kolkata and Punjab in their last two games. Do you think that was the reason behind Chennai playing so freely? And if they would have played this way from the start of the tournament, it would have been a little different right now. What do you think?
Well, I think they've gone slower and lower because they've been used and the pace has gone out of it. When they were first, they were very fresh and fast wickets. That's why the likes of Delhi Capitals did really well. They had a great batting bowling lineup in Rabada and his fellow South African teammate. Both of them were a great combination. But then Chennai, obviously, when the wickets slightly get slower, they used wickets. Chennai's are probably the best team in the tournament for that, and they proved that at the back end. So this IPL has been very interesting. The conditions have played a huge role in the tactics, in the strategies for different teams. But the team that was overall good for the quicker pitches and slightly slower pitches was Mumbai Indians.
I think they were a versatile team. They were an all-round team. They almost got full marks in all departments. That's why I think they ended up on the top of the table. They've definitely played like champions, the defending champions, of course. They've been brilliant, I think. Next, moving on to the Punjab versus Rajasthan game. Punjab really lost it in the last two games. They handed one-sided wins to the opposition. Do you think Punjab deserved that fourth playoff spot, or Hyderabad have done well to reclaim themselves?
Well, look, I thought Punjab Kings deserved it. They probably played the better cricket tournament, but that's why this IPL is such a great, probably the best T20 in the league because there's so much competition. Right, Chris Gale could not get into the team because the competition was so much, and when he got in there, he was very pleased because he felt the pinch of not playing, and then he played unbelievably well, and that's what it's required. Want to be in this IPL team, you have to produce great performances, and I thought Chennai would have thought, if this is how we're going to go, we might as well get rid of Dhoni as well by end of this season and start fresh next season with Shane Watson retiring. But again, age is not a number. Chris Gale has proved it. MS Dhoni is proving it. So I guess if you're kind of like, let's say, want to get back in the IPL, you've seen the performances of Chris Gale, of MS Dhoni turning the team round. These are important, the important thing for the brand of IPL. Viewers in the UK can't get their eyes off the screens because of the unpredictability, because of how different players are performing. Different teams are catching up. It's not just completely one-sided. So important for the brand of the IPL. Any players that come in, they need to enhance the brand.
Definitely, I think. And Monty, you mentioned about unpredictability. A couple of teams who dominated in the first half, not even the first half, more than the first half of the tournament, that were Delhi and Bangalore. Their graph just went down in the last 5 games. What do you think was the cause behind that? Did they take it too lightly? I don't think that would be the reason. But what went wrong?
Look, for me, I think the handling of Prithvi Shaw was poor management from Delhi Capitals. A great example, KKR, they invested in Mavi and a couple of the young seamers who came out shining in this IPL. But Prithvi Shaw, they should have kept the same team. They've got the 11s who are playing. They've got one player in that team who's not performing well. So what do? You invest a bit more time in him, organise his game, and get him back playing again. But that wasn't done. They dropped him. They completely reshuffled the team, and they brought him back in, and they start winning again. So it just proves that in the IPL, once you have a winning formula, it doesn't matter who the 11 players are. Stick to the formula as long as you can, and try and improve the players of the 11 players who are playing, the in-form, the out-of-form players. Try and get them back in form, but keep playing the same 11.
I think you've got to try and keep it simple in the whole tournament. Some of the teams made their combinations, made their game a little complex. I think they overcompensated, even Delhi, even Bangalore, with some changes, and that is exactly why they started losing games. Punjab lost against Chennai, Kolkata winning against Rajasthan, then Delhi winning to Bangalore in the last crunch game, of course, and Hyderabad won the last game against Mumbai. In the last game, Monty, Mumbai left out Jasprit Bumrah and Trent Bolt. Do you think in the last match before the playoffs, they should have gone in with all their big guns so that they don't lose momentum, or giving rest to them was the correct option? What do you think?
Well, this is the option. Once you're in the playoffs, once you're guaranteed that top spot, you're gonna think, who do I need to rest some of my key players? Who do I bring back in? And I think Mumbai had the right strategy. Mumbai probably they're top of that league, but they're not there just by chance. It's the management of players. It's how they do the strategy of winning, and that's a great example of Mahela Jayawardene look after your players, or Ricky Ponting changing the team, and then suddenly Delhi Capitals lose momentum. They never once rested Trent Bolt. They could have brought Mitchell McClain into the team, but they stuck to their guns. So there's a simple formula for all the other teams who probably think next year we want to do well. It's easy. Get your best 11, get your winning combination, stick to that as long as possible, and get the out of form players back in form if you can, but stick to the 11 who are winning you the game.
And lastly, Monty, now we know the 4 teams who qualified for the playoffs. If I asked you to predict how are these qualifiers and eliminators going to pan out, what is going to happen further? Who do you think is going to win the title? Let's see if you can get it right, and we'll ask you when we meet again after this tournament ends.
Yeah, look. For me, I think Mumbai Indians will win the tournament, but the key, the next team that gets there, it depends on RCB. If Kohli and AB de Villiers have a good game, they'll probably be in the final. If they get out both early, that's the end for them. And Sunrider Hyderabad, they're like, again, they know David Warner, Rashid Khan, very unpredictable team. They need to have a great day. If it's their day, I'm sure they can get there. But we haven't seen a lot of great days. It's only been at the back end where they've really come through. So for me, I think Mumbai Indians will win the tournament.
But the other teams did gain form at the right time, especially Hyderabad. That was the end of our episode of Week with Monty Panesar. Thank you for having a lovely chat with us, Monty. It's always lovely talking to you. Do follow Monty's channel on Twitter. He's the most active there. You'll get all the information you need, and we'll come back next time. It's almost the end of the tournament. Monty, thank you for talking to us. See you next time.
Thank you.